Welcome to Elks 101. Another episode of Elks Central, breaking this one down.
Reagan, touchdown Edmonton! Fajardo, Dunbar, back on top go the Elks!
Look at how unprepared I am off the rip. That wasn't even, I was 2 yards away. All right, we're going to jump right into it. Join now. By the way, this is Elks Central. Welcome in. Declan, Eddie, Rick with you guys on this one, January 9th. Appreciate you being here with us. Joined now by a very special guest, former Pullman Greyhound, Eastern Washington Eagle, Edmonton Eskimo, Grey Cup champion and CFL Defensive Player of the Year, and maybe most importantly, friend of Eddie Steele. J.C. Sherritt joins us. J.C., how are you, man? Appreciate you doing this.
I'm doing good, guys. Thanks for having me on.
JC, the first kind of question I want to get into, probably a natural one, like first season as a full-fledged DC, how did it meet your expectations? What was the learning curve like? Like, what was it like coming back to Edmonton in that role? Just kind of the whole shebang of coming in first season as a DC here.
Yeah, I mean, from a football perspective, I mean, Eddie can relate to this. It was very similar to kind of being a rookie, as far as, every week is rapid learning. And then the season's so long, you kind of hit your stride at a certain point. So, that was a big thing. Not just me, but our staff. We're a rookie staff as one. It's the first time we've all been together. So just learning, improving, because you get tested. It's professional football. You're going to get tested by coaches, players alike, the weeks, all that stuff. But to be back in the city, to walk in here every day, like, dude, we had some rough times to start this season, and even to walk into the building, it's empowering because I've lived in this city as long as I've lived in any city in my life. I'm a gypsy by blood, so it's something I take a lot of pride in, to be able to be in this city and work for this organization.
How does it differ from being a DC in the college game?
The pace of play, you have a structure of, you're going to get, it might be up to 9 to 10 games every Saturday, right? Well, here you could go Monday, Friday, and you got a whole list. You could go back-to-back opponents, and you're also, the level of athlete is so much better that it's a very fine line of being very detail-oriented, which is the college game, right? This is football school. This is how we do it, structure this, compared to do not slow that athlete down, because that would be the biggest cardinal sin of a coach at any level, but certainly this level more than any other. If you put too much information into an athlete, that's bad coaching because you've just slowed them down.
Now, JC, you use the term rapid learning. What was the biggest learning curve or thing that you learned throughout the season? Would it be learning to manage an entire defense and the different people and personalities? Was it the game planning and staying weeks ahead of schedule and your game planning and prep? What would have been the biggest thing you've learned as a DC?
Simplifying was the biggest thing. Yes. And I think that was the big thing, not only from, it really starts from a staff. What are we all good at? What is helping our guys win? And let's focus on that. Okay. Let's all divide up and do what we're best at and what's best for these guys. And it's that simple. And I think that's probably, if we're being pure honest with it, that's probably me overthinking it, trying to over prepare for it. I'm going to do this, I'm going to have every single thing covered. Well, the thing
every counter.
Right. And like we just talked about, let it rip. What are we good at? Let's get really good at what we're good at.
JC, what was the relationship like coming in? Like you said, like rookie staff really across the board. So what was the relationship like, and just kind of, I guess, the initial conversations with Coach Killam? Like, you're brought on early January, just after he's become the head coach. Like, what were some of, just the initial meetings? Like, what was the vibe like? What was that relationship like off the jump? Then I guess as kind of an extension, how's it grown? How's it developed?
So that relationship goes all the way back to my first job was in Calgary in 2019.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So that's been developed, and that never stopped. When I went to the States, I've always stayed in touch with coaches that are like me, would be the best way to put it. Friends, people I would count on, rely on. So we've had that relationship. And then obviously when this came to fruition, something we were both very excited about. And then as the defensive staff formed, Aaron, I played with. I knew he was going into coaching. He's been developing as a coach. Danny Nesbitt, I had not met. Probably, I don't even want to say it on this podcast, but he will become one of the better coaches in this league. He's probably the most underrated coach in the CFL, in my opinion. Obviously, D-Max coached me. He's been in the league for a number of years. And then Anthony Vitale, who's our analyst, I worked with at Saskatchewan.
Yeah, that was a bad Big J Journo moment by me. I did know you were linebackers coach in Calgary. I didn't just read the first line of your Wikipedia page. It was the question was phrased poorly, so I do apologize. But one thing, like with you specifically, like there are some, coaches who are lifelong coaches, and then there, obviously some coaches who are former players. But then, like a guy like you, like we're, CFL tackle record at the time, defensive player of the year, like. Is it ever, I don't want to use the word frustrating, but is it ever frustrating when you know what you were able to do as a player and then having to, like, I don't want to knock anyone on the defense. The defense is incredibly talented, a lot of great players over there. But again, like it's a different level when you're defensive player of the year. Is it tough to kind of have to coach the defense when you see things that you would have done so naturally and so easy and came across so easy to you and then kind of get that message to the guys?
That's a good question. I think I am no, to be honest. It's not because I look at it from a coaching and teaching perspective. That's my job is to teach whoever's in front of me. How do I get them to do that? It's on the coach. Like all these dudes a lot of them are way more talented than I ever was. So my job is to get that talent to be able to make the play. It's not on the player or you got to figure this out. No, I got to figure it out. I got to figure out how to simplify, teach it. Us as a staff teach it so we understand it and we can execute it.
JC, when you talk about simplifying, what is your defensive identity? Because it's not the first 6 or 9 games of the year. You guys finished as the hottest, the best defense, in my opinion. So what is that identity which led you to have such success defensively as a unit down the stretch?
Yeah, speed and violence would be the identity of the defense. It is. And I think like you put on, like if you watch the Miami Ole Miss game yesterday, speed and violence won that game. It's just, and it's been since the dawn of time. The best defense we played on was very geared that way. But to get that, you have to have confidence. You have to rely on each other. You have to have the continuity and the experience, which a lot of those guys grew fast, very fast. And I think we all saw that kind of take shape because confidence that's what leads to all this stuff. How do you get confident? You know your shit. Excuse me. Probably shouldn't.
No, man, that's right. Yeah, and that's real. You can't swear here. It's all good. We're an open space, JC. But you just said it, man. The way you can play fast and gain confidence is know your stuff, man. Mm-hmm. That's right. The way you can get out there and play without thinking, right?
100%. And that's it. And that's, like I always equate it. It's not, you're not a good coach. A good coach is a good teacher. And that's where I think it comes. Those guys are a reflection. If we're doing our job, the athlete in this game is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So it's like, dude, just teach him how to be himself, and the rest will take care of itself.
So how was it to kind of go through, the ebbs and flows of how the defense changed throughout the season? Like obviously a lot of turnover at defensive line in the, Niles and Nick get in. Like, I mean, I can go through every position group. Like how was it, trying to deal with that, trying to scheme up things that met new guys' skill sets, trying to get new guys to kind of come play within the base defense? Like what was that like for you this past season as DC?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just a great learning experience, right? We will, hopefully I keep doing this for a lot of years. There will be a worse year than this with injuries. And it's just like building your foundation. Again, we go back to, are we teaching the right way so guys can come in and play fast from the jump? There's guys that came in with 4 days, and then you got to play a professional football game. So it's getting them up to speed. And also it's our job. Okay, are we calling the right stuff? Are we being way too – I mean, we've got 4 new guys out there, or maybe 4 rookies who this is their second game. Okay, maybe pump the brakes a little bit. Let's just let them get comfortable and play fast.
JC, when it was a slower start to the season, there was one position group, and it was a position group that was steadfast all year with the way they played. That was yours, the linebackers, bro. The guys that you had your direct fingerprints on, Niles Morgan, Nick Anderson, Brock Mogensen, and Joel DeBlanco. All four of them came in and produced at different times, different moments in the season. I was wondering as I was driving down here, and sorry for being late. By the way, was that you who texted me?
Yeah, it was. You're good.
Now I got your number, so I'm going to lock you in. I thought
I had your number.
I didn't have yours, man. I didn't have yours.
Oh, it's the new. It's a Cali number.
Yeah, I didn't have that one saved. But when it comes to personnel, because there was a move that just shook down recently with Niles Morgan going to Ottawa. Do you have any say, any foothold in the decision-making process with Ed, or does it simply come down to Ed provides you the players, you coach what you're given?
We have a great working relationship. Not only me, but to Killer, to our player personnel, to Ed. That's a great community relationship. At the end of the day, the head man is the head man, and as that goes, we go. But a big part of why I took this job as well wasn't just Killer. Ed was my GM. Ed was the scout that found me as a player. That relationship goes back to when I was 21 years old. So wherever we go, I've got that dude's back, and we go together. Like, that's the best way I can put it. We have a working relationship, but dude, it's a big reason my family lives in this city right now.
It's real.
JC, me and Eddie have kind of talked about this like a little bit jokingly because we don't think it would ever happen. But just this past season with the emergence of Brock and, obviously what Nick did last year and this year when he was healthy, and then Joel playing the will, whoever it's going to be, Chalen, Cordell, Kenny at the Sam, would you ever go to a 34 base?
I think you always have to keep an open mind because, one thing I think that this league is very different than most is you can be very creative with the extra player, with what that position is. And, again, we go back to our time, Eddie, we played on a defense where sometimes we played 3 Canadian safeties in a game. I thought it was like, I had no idea where this was going. We had 7 sacks and beat the brakes off of Montreal. So, I keep an open mind at all times because it's been done. So you go to Don Matthews, Chris Jones, Corey Mace. Those are all kind of 3 different families that do it different ways, but they've all been successful. So I think you always keep an open mind to your personnel. I would never take that off the board, especially – I think there's been a rise in heavier personnels in this league. You see 6 offensive linemen, 7. The 2 fullbacks in Montreal, they love going to that personnel. Well, to Matt, if you're going strength on strength, that would be essentially a 3-4 prospect.
How much time do we have with you, JC? I know you have things to do.
Well, you're good. Let me just text my wife real quick because I'm on. She's walking laps right now, but I'm on baby duty, so we should be good.
Perfect. That leads me into my next question.
Yeah,
what's the off-season plans for you? Because I know you're established here. You got a crib here now. What are you up to? You're in the office, so you're working, of course.
Yeah. No, dude. It's awesome. We've moved 5 times in 5 years, just with the profession. From Washington. From Cali to Alabama to Washington to Regina to Edmonton. So it's been a journey. So we're very grateful to be able to just settle down in a city where obviously I love this city.
This is
I
home.
Really do.
This is home, yeah. JC.
For sure. For sure. So we're just diving in. My daughter turns 1 in like a month, so we start swim school. You know what I mean? I play pickleball against Jason Moss, that nice. And we work, dude. That's it.
See, that's cool. I'm glad you dropped that because Moss lives out here. He's a big hunter.
Oh yeah.
There's actually Coach Noel Thorpe. He lives in Edmonton.
He's close to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. There's a lot of guys.
Wherever the CFL coaches, it's just the place to be.
Yeah, no doubt.
Speaking of coaches, is there an offensive coordinator in the league who, when you play that team, you're like, man, this is like I'm in for a chess battle. Like this is going to be a battle of the minds here.
Dude, they're all pretty good. Yeah, it's a good question. Buck Pierce, Moss are both They keep you on your toes the way they attack the perimeter and always gain numbers. Scott in Hamilton is unique because he has a lot of Americanized under center football. That's unique with timing and things like that. That would be the three off the top of my head. RD's been successful every step of the way. They might win 4 games, but their offense is going to put up 30 and 400 yards. So it's this league's full of them, man. And then obviously the Grey Cup champ, who I worked with, who again was on that staff. That 2019 staff in Calgary was had a lot of impressive dudes on it. But Mark knows exactly what he has and what he wants. He knows exactly what he's going to do, and he doesn't care if you know it.
Right.
And there's something to be said about that as well.
There is. It's that confidence that our stuff is better than your stuff. It's no different than we were playing Calgary, man. And they're going to line up and they're going to run John Cornish, and you got to line up and stop it.
That's right.
Love it.
Kind of like similarly, and it probably wouldn't have happened in Edmonton. Like maybe, would have happened in Calgary when you were linebacker coach there, maybe like in college when you were at Cal Poly. But would you remember like the first time you saw a set you hadn't seen on film and you were just like, what am I supposed to do here? Like, did it even ever happen?
As a player or a coach?
As a coach, I think, yeah.
It's not a set. It's just, hey, we talk about on schedule or off schedule. So when you prepare throughout the week, are they doing what we thought they were going to do? And Danny's in the booth watching pass game along with AG on the field. Like, are they going to their top stuff on 2nd and 8 to 10 in this field zone? Are they hitting their top stuff? If not, they're off schedule. So our guys need to know they're off schedule, and they should be prepared for, okay, throughout the week, fellas, this is their top stuff, but they have shown this at different times. This coordinator's done this through different times. So, if the speed of the game's going very fast, that's where we really need to be good coaches as far as getting to the iPads, getting the information to the guys. Hey, they're off schedule right now. They're hitting us with 14 into the boundary, Sally game. Those guys need to know that quickly.
How many weeks out are you preparing yourself and your staff personally? Obviously, the players, they're worried week to week. But for you, how advanced are you in terms of game preparation?
Me personally, I stay within the week. I always go week to week, but there's guys on staff who are getting way farther ahead. So when the game ends, Anthony Vitale, he's going to present on, okay, this is their run game. This is their offensive line. This is what they like to do. That's the day after the game. So we have guys who are that's part of their job, is to get ahead and help prepare.
Excellent. Similar to the offensive coordinator question, but just kind of an extension of that. Like, who's the toughest player to game plan for? Whether it be QB running wide, whoever it is. Like, who's the toughest player? They're always like, man, this guy, like he's gonna get his no matter what.
Probably Rourke and Kenny Lawler.
Yeah.
I would think are the two. And I think Rourke takes the top spot just because he controls the game. He's got the ball in his hands every time. But Kenny can he can take the top off at all times and go get it at all times. And, you can be playing lights out, this happened to us. You play lights out for, 3 quarters, 3.5, explosive touchdown. The momentum just completely flipped on its head.
Game-changing play.
And those are guys that, they deserve every dollar they get.
With some of the young guys, and especially some of the young, Americans coming into the CFL and onto the team, like, do they know like who you were and what you did in the CFL? Like, do you ever have to kind of remind them, like, yeah, I was that guy?
Dude, these guys, being a former player, you do get some respect for that until you teach. And if you can't help a player get to his next contract and feed his family, nobody cares what anybody did. All we care about is, that's it going forward. And that's how I felt as a player. Like, dude, that's awesome that you were a MVP. Can you teach me the install for the week now, please?
Yeah.
That's just kind of what it is, dude. It's grown men who are feeding their families.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a responsibility on their end. They have to uphold their end of it too. As a coach, you only can lead them to water. and they have to go and drink it,
Absolutely. And I mean, that's part of it too, is, I mean, accountability is key, right? But you have to also be a realist. Like, all right, this was taught, this was clear, this was practice, and this was rep. This is on you as a professional now. It
Okay.
100% goes both ways.
And that really is a great segue. Is there the emotional aspect of you develop a relationship with a guy and then he gets cut or traded? How has that weighed on you, or is it strictly business, tunnel vision at the task at hand?
For me, what is my job? My job is to put us in the best position to play the best defense and win football games. That means the guys that we have to pour everything we have into them. My relationship doesn't end with the players. I have pictures of every linebacker group I ever coached. Like, I got you, dude. Outside of football, anything like that, I got you. But I'm not going to ever let that affect. My job affects this organization. So if I get emotional, I'm affecting this entire building, and that's not what I was hired to do.
Good point.
JC, just a couple more for you, man, and we'll let you get going. I asked Ed this at the postseason media veil. I was like, "Who's a player who you were really high on? Maybe probably a guy who started on the practice squad, who didn't have a lot of fanfare, but knew once they got into the game they were going to be someone special and they were going to be a difference maker." And he said Kenny and Brock. So I just wanted to know, kind of your answer to that question. Like, if it was those two guys as well. If you don't want to use them, maybe there was another, but just a guy who you were like, man, this guy, like, when he gets the chance, when he gets into the lineup, he's going to be a player. He's going to be something special.
J.J. Ross.
My guy.
For sure.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah. And what nobody else sees is that dude is in here grinding until 5, 6, 7 p.m. This is a corner we're talking about. Corners aren't known for that.
Yeah.
And that's he's got the right mindset, and like, it's, dude, if he gets a ball caught on him, like, you're on blast on national television. Everybody saw it. Like, you have the confidence in that position. You have to have it, or you will drown. And he built it the way we talked about, to truly be confident. Like, dude, you got to put the work in. And he's put the work in. And when his moment came, he took it. And then he showed what the biggest thing in professional sports, he showed that he's getting better. And that's a really good thing.
That's inspiring to hear, because you see it in the play.
Oh, yeah.
So then to hear the sacrifice and the work put in behind the scenes, that's just a testament to anybody in any avenue of life. Put that work in secret. Results will come. You got to put that work in, though. Last one for me, JC. One that I always talk to the boys about. Do you ever miss it?
I felt it in the Calgary rematch. I felt the juice right there. All the way up until Leak, I think, took a kickback this year, and he went out of bounds towards me, and I didn't have the twitch to get out of the way, and he ran right into me. It's like this thing is so over. Yeah. So no, you know how it is. I mean, shoot, the fans feel it. You feel juice in certain situations and things like that. But yeah, that's once you get hit full speed by Leak, like how fast that happened, it was like, it's time to move on, baby.
Yeah.
And yeah, JC, last one from me. Do you have like a blitz package maybe it's not even a blitz package, maybe it's just a different play that you dial up maybe, once a game, once every couple games, but when it hits, you're like, ooh, like that's the special one. Like, I know it's a little bit easier to ask with offenses. Like, offenses might have, whatever it is, like a triple option they dial up once every couple games and it hits, and you're like, yeah, that's a special electric play. But do you have, like I said, whether it be a blitz package, whether it be something else, you dial up once every couple games, but when you hit it, you're like, yeah, that's a special play. That's back page of the playbook, but that's why.
Yeah, I mean, I think every defensive staff, like, as you game plan, you've got the heart of your game plan, but then you've got second down and 6+, 7+, 8+, whatever it's going to be. And it's not just me, this is a staff. So guys are looking, hey, I think we got him. This can hit, or a coverage shell. Hey, if we show this can hit. And yeah, it's awesome, man. Absolutely. You played Madden. You call the right play in Madden. Like, I think I got him, and it hits.
What a good feeling. What a good feeling. I need to know this actual last one for me. I'm sorry, JC. Just a loose prediction. Who can we watch to potentially pop next year on the D-line?
Good question. I think Noah's going to still – well, Noah Curtis comes back, which I'm super excited about. But the jump that Noah Taylor made throughout the year was awesome. And it was, it's just like he's got an infectious personality, and when it took off, it took off. So super excited about him. And then, that's the big one right now. And the rest of the guys, feel great about. I'm sure they're going to go, but I see that as a jump. Mm-hmm. Silas Hubert, very excited about him to see how his offseason goes, his first pro offseason. Because if you handle that the right way, that should be the biggest jump in your professional career.
Is he a D end or can he play 3-tech?
Depends how much he weighs when he comes back.
It depends on the offseason. Yeah. Okay. I gotcha. Nice.
Well, JC, man, this has been awesome. We really appreciate the time. I know we kept you a little bit long. I know you're on baby duty. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're good.
If you need an assistant DBs coach, I'm always right here. But like I said, really appreciate this, man. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully talk to you again soon.
All right. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Take care, bro.
Right, beautiful. That was J.C. Sherritt, DC of the Edmonton Elks. Like I said, former friend and teammate. Yeah, man.
Former teammate and current friend?
There we go. Yeah. Former friend. Yeah. Did you know when you were playing with him, you're like, this guy's going to be a DC? Like
sure.
At that position and what he did, like he had such a mind for
the leadership qualities, right? Like, and not just within the ability to coach the guys and get everybody on the same page, but just to handle the locker room, like to coach the different personalities and do little things, right? Just how to do the right things, like cleaning up and, don't leave tape laying around, setting an example.
For sure.
Right? He was a leader in all aspects of it.
I thought he made like a really good point, because that was the number one question I was thinking of, because like when you're defensive player of the year, like they give that award out once a year to one player in the league. You know what I mean? Like that's a special type of guy. And so being that guy and like having that ability, I would have to think it's frustrating to watch guys not do that. Like look at, I don't know, what's an example? Jason Kidd is a coach. Like Jason Kidd was one of the best passers of all time, had one of the highest IQs of the game. Like seeing, like it's got to be pretty tough watching, I don't know, like pick a name, handle the ball.
Yeah.
And so I was really curious to know how he thought about like what's it like to watch these guys not do what you're able to do. But he made a good point. Like he was like, yeah, listen, like it's, you just got to coach them. You got to be a teacher. You got to be a leader. Like you got to kind of put that to the side. And I thought that was like an interesting, but the right mindset to have about it. It is
the right mindset. It's hard because there's a high standard there, right? Because he executed it at a high standard. He won Defensive Player of the Year. So like the whole kit and caboodle. But you're right. When he said it, it kind of hit home for me too. Whereas it's not a passion and the love of the game like it was when you played. It's honestly more of a job. Yeah. Your job is to make these guys better. It's not for the love of football. It's awesome that you get to be involved in football for your job, but that's not the job description, loving the game. It's to literally coach the guy in front of you. And I never really looked at it from that perspective, where that's just like any other job. That's your job.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. I'm excited for the Elks. One other question I wanted to ask him, he was getting, I think by the end of the interview, he was a little bit checking the clock, so I didn't want to keep it too long, but I wanted to ask, like, that addition of Jordan Williams, like what he meant for the defense, because he came in and played immediately and was an impact player. Then when he mentioned, Silas and both Noahs there at the end, I kind of wanted to jump in and be like, hey, what about Jordan Williams? Because I'm really excited to see how he's going to factor into that defensive line. But moreover, like, I just keep thinking about all the bodies. And like I asked about the 34, but like, dude, there's no way with all the guys they have. Like, there's no way.
I had that line question.
Because I'm just thinking, like, dude, you like and it's kind of an envious position, but they could honestly have two full defensive lines and tackle end that are starting CFL defensive lines. Like
there is a lot of depth there. JC's such a coach now too. I love it.
How's it changed from when he was a player?
He's just tight.
Yeah.
He's just, and I don't mean personality. I mean, he's buttoned up. Yeah. Like his answers are crisp. He's a coach.
Yeah. He was answering like a coach for sure.
That's all I'm saying. I don't mean anything other than he's just a coach. Whereas as a player, Man, he was a funny guy. He was loose. He was a jokester.
Really? Hey?
Oh, he was a jokester, man. And that's another, really cool characteristic is he's a leader. But then he did so much funny pranks and stuff. Him and Joey Moss, because J.C. it's notorious. He wasn't the biggest guy.
Yep.
And Joey Moss wasn't huge. And they would always wrestle. And we
That's right.
midget wrestling. And, man, there's so much funny stuff.
What was the best prank you ever pulled on a teammate?
What
were the rookie duties like in the CFL too?
It depends. Depends on your leaders, the vets.
Yeah.
You could have some dinks who, really were hard on rookies.
Dude, you know a guy who I think might be like that? I have no reason for thinking this, but I just view Charleston Hughes being tough on rookies.
He was, man, no.
No? Okay.
He was very reasonable.
Okay. All right, cool. Cool.
Yeah, he was actually very reasonable. He was. Yeah, no, JC, there's the Phantom, and I'm not saying JC was the Phantom, but, I know he associated with people who knew the Phantom, whereas when people would be out practicing, stuff would get, misplaced and stuff from the locker room, or if a guy was acting up, suddenly you come back in from practice and your Jordans or your shorts or something that you wore to practice are in a block of ice, things like that.
It's tough. Cars ever get filled?
No, not that maybe, bro. Maybe I some one time comes to memory, but I don't remember what it was. It wasn't a constant. It's CFL now, man. Come for less. You got to put money in to do some of these pranks.
Yeah, I know. It's like that's the
I
thing.
Don't want to invest that.
Yeah, in the NFL, it's like, hey, you got to pay for this $30,000 team dinner. In the CFL, it's just like, hey, can you carry?
I lost credit card roulette once, and that's a wrap for me. Never played again.
Really? Hey?
Yeah, I never played.
You could opt out of that.
What?
The boys let you just opt out of credit card roulette there?
No, I lost once and had to pay it.
No, I know.
Again.
That's what I'm saying. They don't rib you for not playing.
Nah.
All right.
And,
how much was the bill?
Swinging contest. Oh man, it was only $350.
Oh, that's not bad.
Cactus Club in BC. There's 5 of us.
Blonde waitress, I bet.
Most likely.
Yeah. It's like I'm there now. All right. What else should we talk about here? I
forgot to ask him too. I don't remember. Was it announced, boys? But their D-line coach, because Maxie's not here anymore. Did they fill the position or not?
No.
I don't think they did. Right?
No, not officially.
Mm-hmm.
Could be you. They might come calling.
I was able to happily decline the
coaching
role.
You never
years ago.
I know, and you don't want to do it. I don't think. I don't want to speak for you, but
no,
it's too much work.
Yeah, that's
obviously the extra hours take you away from your family.
Yeah,
but if it was just 8 hours, if it was just 8 hours a day, would you want to be back in there?
No, there's a couple factors. First is the job I'm doing now. It's so unique with the sales, the flexibility. It's not I don't have to be anywhere, whenever. Yeah. So
you can be here doing this,
and the freedom to come and go as I please,
and
still make really good money. There's something to be said for that. Another thing is the ego. You're dealing with a lot of guys, young guys. It's different young guys in this year of 2026.
Yeah, man.
The 25-year-old is different than it used to be.
For sure.
And there are some of them often are making, most of them are making more money than you. So there's an ego aspect to it that you have to deal with that, you have to babysit as a coach sometimes. Yep. You're dealing with X's and O's, but you're dealing with people too, right? So there's that you have to deal with. So there's a plethora of reasons. I love the game, but my time in the game in terms of the pro level, I'm happy with where it's at. I really am.
What about something like college where they're not making money? I think of Deion Sanders, right? Because he said he was always better suited to do college because they're not really making money.
Kids.
I mean, NIL
now
or whatever, but it was different, right?
It's even different when Deion got in the game.
Yeah.
At Jackson State.
His
way the game has changed so much since he got in the game. Because you can make the argument, oh, yeah, Deion, he got into it for money. But really, you look at the history of his coaching path, and I mean, to start at Jackson State before all this NIL really broke down, man, that's the passion to get kids better.
Oh, yeah. Dude, and he let Travis Hunter, he got the number one overall recruit in the country to go to Jackson State. That's, impressive stuff. I know that's kind of an aside from.
He definitely slipped him an envelope, though.
Dude, honestly, I mean, probably.
Yeah.
But dude, also,
yes, he did.
But I really do think Deion was like a father figure to Travis.
Yeah.
Travis loves Deion, that's his guy.
What fathers do, they provide financially.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you're right. one thing I wanted to talk about that I thought was kind of cool, just regarding the league. So the league's going to have some winter meetings. One of them is going to be transparency regarding player compensation. So we may finally get some publicized player salaries, which I think would be huge for the league. Like we've talked about it, I don't know how many times, but it's just, I don't know. It's so bush league that we don't have it.
That bit of legitimacy, fellas?
Yeah,
Just to the
100% it does.
conversation.
100% it does.
When you're talking roster, you can now bitch and moan about true numbers.
Well, we know the salary cap, right? So if you're not hiding that, what are you hiding everyone's salary for then?
Yeah.
We know you can't spend more than this. Cool. Well, you got to divide it by all your players. How's it get divvied up?
How does it get divvied up?
Because they usually tell you
question.
2 years, but they don't like to tell you how much.
There's only so many $300,000 players on a roster.
Yep. More now though, like, or not 300K, like that's obviously
Feels
rarefied air, but like
the market is different, hey?
Oh yeah, like
the cap is still what the cap is, so it feels like more guys are getting paid bigger bucks, but the reality is not the case.
dude, yeah, like Stavros Castanonis,
He just set the record for safeties.
it was 200K.
Who's the highest paid player and how much?
Quarterback Nathan Rourke, I would imagine.
It's got to be Nathan.
And Bo would be 1 and 2.
Price?
I think Nathan's making over 600K.
I was going to say in the 6s. Bo and Mike
in Vancouver, though. Did
that come down a bit? Because how much was Trevor Harris making when he was here?
I couldn't imagine it was.
I thought it was 6 or 7.
Bo's made 7 before.
The market
for
changed
sure.
way back in, I want to say 2019, when Mike Riley went to BC and Bo under Ed Hervey there. And there was, a little bit of a scandal with some money.
Mm-hmm.
And Bo Levi got huge money, and they were both making over 7. Mm-hmm. And that was crazy. Because
they kind of stopped that and brought it back a bit.
They did,
right?
because you can't do that, man. When the salary cap at that point was like 5.7 mil, and one dude is making 7, that's eating up a huge chunk.
Oh, dude, as a percentage, like Anthony Calvillo had to be making a lot. When the salary cap was like 4, he had to be making like a
lot of
really
guys,
pretty penny.
Man, at that point, 47.5.
Yeah.
48.5, I'm sorry, was minimum.
League man, yep.
And that's when Anthony was shredding the league. So there's a lot of guys playing at that.
Yeah. I'd play CFL football for 48.5.
I still think
21.
there should be a cap limit for quarterbacks and then the rest of the team. Just because it's a quarterback league. Spend your money on the quarterback. If everyone has a really good quarterback, then it's great for the league. The league looks better. The games look better. And then do your salary cap for the rest of the team.
Minimum is respectable now.
70K is a good salary for 6 months of work, man.
Yeah, it's respectable.
Especially, bro, for sure. 1 game a week, practices that are capped. What is it, 2 hours?
Typically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, per the union, it's 4.5-hour work days, and half of that's film.
Yeah.
Some of that's transition to get out onto the field. So, yeah, not even 2 hours really, Deck.
That's what I'm saying, man. And like
one of those is a padded day.
One of those
not in pads every day.
QBs are off one of the days.
Yeah, it's
walkthrough is for anyone who doesn't know, walkthrough is literally what it sounds like. Like it's walkthrough. You're walking through.
Yeah,
you're.
How do the practices work throughout a week?
They're pretty much the same. You're gonna warm up. From warm up, you're going to go to individual.
Well, you said sometimes you got pads on, sometimes you don't. Are you doing the same
it would
drills?
Be the same structure. Yeah, it'd be the same structure.
It's just when you have pads on, you're hitting. When you don't have pads, you don't hit.
Yeah, in those periods, like inside run or team periods, you're just stumping up.
Yeah, like if you play on Saturday, then play your next game Friday, you'll generally have like Sunday off. Like Monday will be full contact. Tuesday will be like quarterbacks off.
Usually, actually, day 1 will be no pads. Day 2 will be the heavy padded day. Day 3 will be easy practice, and then walk through. Yeah,
game. And you practice the day after a game.
No, you'll usually get that day.
Saturday,
actually,
game day Saturday, Sunday off, Monday pads for a real practice.
No, Monday will be no pads. Day 1. Tuesday will be day 2 pads.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, day 3 walk through.
And actually, like this year for the Elks, like they were getting a lot of the next 2 days off, like because the practice schedule is always it's released on the online. Anyone, by the way, can go on the Elks website and just find the practice and go down and watch. And like I obviously love being down there because I get talk to the coaches and players afterwards, and I just like love football. I love being down there, seeing the sets and everything. But it's like really cool if you're a fan and you have free time, like you can just go down and watch, and it's really really cool to watch. Like obviously. it's not as fun as the games, and you probably have to be a little bit more of a diehard football fan to really enjoy it. But like, I really
More
implore,
intimate, though.
yeah, absolutely it is. Like, I really implore anyone to do it. But my point being is like, this season the Elks actually took a lot of, like, it was 2 days before games a lot of the time.
Like that scenario we just explained, a Saturday game into a Friday game, that'd be considered a normal
Yep.
short week,
Yep.
right? Whereas you play Saturday, you're getting Sunday and Monday off, or Sunday off for sure. Monday's a day A, but it's really, you're coming in, it's film work, light work, a team lift or
How
something.
did you guys handle the old Labor Day schedule? This Monday, Friday.
You're not in pads or really everything's walkthrough.
Yeah.
That short turnaround, it's all
Yep.
recovery.
And players
all
hate it.
film. Yeah, and it's all walkthrough.
Because it's Monday, Saturday now, but it used to be forever Monday, Friday.
It's short Monday, Friday.
Dude, I remember one time in high school, and again, I know it's high school, but it's not the pro football, but we had a game Wednesday and then we had another game Friday.
Yeah, man.
Dude, but you know what was, okay, so we lost the game on Wednesday. And then Thursday, dude, this was actually the craziest thing. Like, we didn't do anything. Like, it was full pads, but we just like, I don't even think we watched film on the team we were playing on Friday. We just went out there and we literally just mucked about for like 2 hours, then played the game on Friday.
And there's some programs that'll have like mini jamborees, full on tackle. You'll play a couple games in a day.
Yeah.
Like shortened games, but yeah, it's I don't agree with that.
Same players?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's so, yeah, it's so, you got it.
But yeah, there's a lot of programs that are full contact, like jamborees, like hockey tournament.
Yeah.
Like no
That's
different,
crazy.
except with football.
It's like spring
agree
league.
with it.
It's big in spring league.
Yeah.
I always thought that the end of the season, right before COVID, I think it was, I think we played 3 games in 9 or 10 days.
I remember that, man. Coming out of COVID, I think.
And I think they're all on the road too. I think it was Saskatchewan, BC, and then out to the east.
It feels like
It's a ridiculous
every season,
schedule.
There's always like a weird stretch where
I mean, there was one game that got canceled or postponed because of COVID or something like that, and that's why they had to.
Yeah, the team.
Yeah.
The team, they had a little outbreak.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, that was part of what I said with Brock. Part of the issue with him. Yeah, they were the only team that had a COVID outbreak.
Yeah.
That was
What can you do?
Darker times.
Oh, man. What about 2-a-days?
Oh, bro. So
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about
funny. I'm glad
2-a-days.
You said that because Chris Strevel, they came out with the report cards just this past week.
We should go over that.
I saw on Instagram, Chris Streveler said he commented C for training camp, ha ha ha, laughing emojis type deal. And
about Winnipeg?
Yeah. And I asked some tough camps. And just from what I've heard, Winnipeg's training camps are intense.
No way. Hey, I mean, that's a Mike thing. Like, he's
old school, padded, no days off, banging and clanging. Yeah, intense. I could totally see that in Mike O'Shea.
Dude, I remember one time in the second half of a 2-a-day, I think it was the second half of 2-a-day, but I actually even just been a practice. But before we get to these report cards, we had a coach, and he was like, he didn't really know anything about football, I don't think. Like, his son had played and had been good, and he was just like, I don't know actually why they let him be a coach, but whatever, he was there. But he had us, we were shoulder pads, helmets. I don't even think we had girdles on, just shorts, like nothing below, just shorts and cleats. And he had us doing like fumble recovery drills, like and it was like go dive on the ball. And I wouldn't do it. Like, I would just, because you know how the drill works. Like, you got your 2 lines and you're set, ball goes, get on it. I wouldn't even try. I was like, I'm not diving for that ball with
get banged up and hurt.
I'm not busting my knee out on this drill. Like, you don't really know what you're doing, and I can tell by this drill. Bad. Yeah, and it was like he was like a backers coach, and I was obviously a DB, so it was combined DBs, backers, and it's like DB versus backer. There's a physical difference there, and I was like, I'm not diving for that ball against my Mac. Like, thanks anyway, man. Like, I would kind of walk out and like ball would go and I would just walk to the back of the line. Yeah. And like, I didn't feel bad about it. Like, most people hear that or would see that and be like, this kid doesn't have heart. And I was like, you guys, I'm not putting my knees on the layout. Like, what are we doing here?
Really quickly with training camp that you asked about, there's 2 styles. And I only experienced the old school style once out of my 9 years. Most oftentimes it was called power practices. So you do 2 hours, take a literal 15, 20-minute Gatorade orange slice break on the bench, and then you're back at it for an hour and 15. Yep. And that way you stay a little bit warm, loose, and you're just out there. You get your work done. You're off the field for the day by like 12:30. The old school traditional 9 to 11:30, break for lunch, then back on the field at 4 p.m. I had one training camp of that in Hamilton. The head coach was George Cortez. He came from Calgary. Super old school guy, man. Super old school. That, fellas, was hell on earth.
Yeah.
Because you practice until 11:30, you're off the field, you're tired, you're hurting, man. Pads. And then you go and you have lunch. Then you're tired. You want to just sleep after that. You're just gassed. Then you got to gear back up for a 4 p.m. padded practice.
Oh yeah.
What do you do between lunch and
You
that
try
4
and catch a nap. Sometimes
Oh, so they let you leave.
They'll let you. Well, it's all on campus, so it's like you're walking from your dorms to the meal hall.
So you're going back, try and get a quick little nap.
If you don't have film in between, yeah, they'll let you go get a nap. That was the hardest thing, ramping up for that second practice, and especially knowing that you had pads and you had to go and bang all over again until 6 o'clock. Like, that was the hardest thing I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Just that ramp up to mentally get ready in the afternoon after you're sore.
Yeah.
That was the hardest thing ever.
Man.
That's it. That's my soapbox.
I think we should probably save the report cards for Monday, like as a whole, so we have something to kind of go over. But I do want to touch on a couple of them. Edmonton, best team travel. Came in at A+. That's a bonus because traveling sucks. Like, no one likes to travel. Like, it's obviously
size.
It's obviously different, like traveling like with the team to a game as it is for like getting on a WestJet flight to Toronto or whatever it is. But like still, like having an A+ in travel, like that's huge for the team. Also, Edmonton's report card.
I would wonder what's different.
Because Montreal had a C+, which was the worst. Edmonton
I don't get it. I don't get it because I only can talk on when I played in Hamilton from 10 through 12. It was way old school back then. You're flying commercial with everybody. Like, you're walking through security or with civilians. But from 2013 on with Edmonton, all the way till I retired in 18, even with Sask, you're taking a bus from the stadium to the airport to a different section of the airport. And you're pulling right up to the airplane and getting on the plane.
Mhm.
So I don't know how travel would differ because it was exactly the same way in Sask as it was in
I
Edmonton.
think it's just bad buses and bad planes.
Or bad food on the plane. Could be because you get a meal, but it's all generic. It's chicken or beef.
Okay, it's
Chicken or
funny.
beef.
It's funny you bring that up because looking at the CFLPA report cards, there are only 2 Fs across the board. One of them, Montreal, got an F for family treatment. The other one, BC, got an F for nutrition and diet. So I'm wondering, like, what has to be what makes family treatment an F?
Yeah, maybe suite availability for
Yeah.
family and childcare. I know Sask, brand new stadium, but they're really good with their childcare and had a huge family room with TVs, so moms can bring the little crazy kids during the game too and stuff. Probably that. I mean, it's a super old stadium in Montreal at McGill. Probably just don't have the space and facilities for things like that. Would be my guess.
Yeah. What about nutrition and diet?
Yeah,
like that. But I understand how that could get an F, but the fact that it would.
All that really.
Edmonton got a C- on
Yes,
that.
is just money, putting money into good quality food, a good buffet line after practice, and some teams just cut the budget there, and maybe you're just getting a couple of little wraps or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How was the food for you playing?
Pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Chris Jones, that's the one thing. He didn't spare the budget when it came to like the body and stuff. People would say maybe he was reckless. Like, he was importing this super expensive pure cherry juice concentrate for us by little mason jars, and it was so expensive. I heard like just a reckless like $20,000 budget.
No way.
And he was bringing it in by the cases, and he'd make us drink one a day after practice.
What was the thinking behind it?
Super high antioxidant and just get anti-inflammatory for the body. So he wouldn't spare expenses. With nutrition, he was always on point. He'd always have some really quality buffet line food. And if it wasn't, it'd be quality takeout that would be brought in.
Dude, it is crazy. Like, I don't know if you remember that that college basketball player who was crying after his team lost in the tournament, and someone asked him, he's like, what are you going to miss most? And he was like, probably just going out to eat. And like, it's obviously became a meme, but it honestly is like, dude, like pregame meals or like buffet lines, like with the team, like it was dude, it was like special.
You go and sit down, you find the group that you want to sit with, you sit down and chop it up. And
that's the hardest part of leaving.
Yeah.
Right? That camaraderie.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
The boys in the room or whatever.
Yep. That's it for real.
Edmonton, by the way, and again, like I said, we'll go through the whole report card on Monday. Edmonton went from a D+ last year, which was the worst, to a B- this year.
I noticed.
Yeah, that's
really
huge.
Quality.
Yeah,
Their facilities, Commonwealth stinks. Like I love Commonwealth.
they got an A- on that. It was the second highest score.
Hear me out. Playing in front of this 60,000 seat capacity stadium when you're only getting 25, maybe 30, that stinks because it's too big. The facilities itself, though, man, to have a pool under one roof, the gym under one roof, this beautiful locker room, the cold and hot tubs, the steam room that they have, to have that all. Oh, yeah, the indoor field where you can go and train 24/7 year round, to have that all under one hallway, man, that's special.
Let me ask you this quickly before we, I guess, kind of wrap things up. Who do you think the most underrated member or members of the staff are?
I mean, that's a no-brainer. The ones that don't get the love, the ones that are there every day, the training staff, the equipment staff, because they're there working just like the coaches every day, except it's the unheralded stars.
Yeah.
You know, they're not getting the love, but man, if you don't have a clean towel, if you don't have clean garments, what are you going to do? The place falls apart really fast.
It's true.
Those are the people that make the cogs go.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Like anything you guys want to end on? I think we've had a pretty good show today.
That was good.
Great combo with J.C. Anything you guys want to add?
I'm good.
All right. Well, I guess just like that, we will be back. Oh, by the way, so we do have the next 3 Fridays lined up. So it's going to be Brock, JJ, and Noah Taylor in some order. No, we're on Noah's hot seat. So we got to smooth it out a little bit.
As Walter White says, tread carefully.
Looking forward to all of that. Thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you guys again on Monday. This has been Elks Central, Declan, Eddie, and Rick. Love you guys.